So when you're ready, we'll go ahead and take a comfortable seat down on our mats. And so however that looks for you in this seat, whether it is sitting heel to heel, which is how I sit because this supports my low back, or if you want to sit more what we call crisscross applesauce with your feet under your knees, and that may support your low back or your upper back a little bit more. So whichever way you choose, just find that seat. Take your palms onto your knees. We're going to use the knees as leverage to lift the spine up. So just press the palms in, lift the chest up a little bit more, and then relax the elbows down and let the hands just rest in your lap. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Take a big breath in right from the tip of your nose down into your belly. And just exhale out your mouth. And again, take a nice big breath in. And exhale, let everything go. One more time, big breath in. And as you let go of this exhale, let go of any tension, any resistance you might be holding on to. The shoulders relax down. The throat softens. And the eyes are just softly closed. Maybe soften the skin around your eyes even. And start to just breathe through the nose. Noticing the breath as it enters right at the tip of your nose, traveling down the throat, into the chest, and then into the belly. And then notice the breath as it leaves belly, chest, throat, nose. And again, inhale, tip of the nose, throat, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, throat, tip of the nose. Take a few more rounds, just noticing the path of your breath. And know that you can't do this wrong. We're just sitting here breathing together. Everything else is just icing on the cake. Just see if you can get lost in the sensation of breath as it moves through your body. And is there anywhere particular that you start to notice that sensation of breath? Some notice it more at the nose or the throat, maybe the chest or the belly. And there's no wrong place. But let your awareness rest on that one place where you notice the breath the most. And we're going to call that home base. So we focus on the breath, but mine is typically in the chest, and the chest begins to expand with the breath. And we're going to use that home base for this practice today, continually coming back to this sensation of the breath. So when things get challenging, and they just might get a little challenging today, you come back to your breath. When your mind starts to wander, come back to the breath. Let's take our fingertips out to the side. Open your eyes, turn your palms, and reach all the way up and over. Press the palms together. Take a big breath in, press the palms even more together. Lift the low ribs up off the belly. And as you exhale, let's take this left hand over to meet the right knee, moving into a twist. Nice, easy twist. Remember that this comes from the upper back. Maybe that right shoulder blade draws towards the spine. Keep lifting the chest, but not the shoulders. Keep breathing. And then just start to rock the neck from side to side or make some circles, just releasing any tension you might be feeling in your neck. Nice. Now keeping this left hand on the right knee, bring the right arm up and over, take a nice little side bend. Just stretching out that right side of the body. Maybe gaze up underneath the arm. Keep breathing. Again, staying with that home base. And then let's come back up to center. Reach both arms up and over. Press the palms together. Lift the chest. Right hand comes over to this left knee. Left hand roots behind you. Left shoulder blade towards the spine to open the heart. Belly softens here. And again, if you want to rock the head a little from side to side. And just moving it around to whatever feels comfortable for you. Remember, this is your practice. Nice, let's go ahead and take that side bend. So right hand stays on this left knee, left arm comes up and over. Just take that side bend. Turn, look underneath the arm if you can. Keep breathing. Nice, you guys, let's come right back up to center. Reach out. Let's take a forward fold now. Just take your hands down onto the earth. Reach your heart forward. So still thinking of a straight back here. Walk the hands forward. So whatever leg you have crossed in front, that hip is probably going to feel this a little bit more than the other one. That's what we want. It's a hip opener. Chest is forward. One of the things I do, if you can notice here, my elbows are bent and I start to drag my hands back to lift my chest. It feels a little bit like Cobra pose. Just allows me to lengthen in my spine a little bit more and then maybe fold a little deeper. And then simply walk the hands back. Lean back, change the cross of your legs. And again, walk the hands forward. Got to give that other leg some hang time. So get as far as you can, as long as the back stays straight. We don't want to be rounding too much in the back. We tend to get into our nerves then. We're trying to get into our muscles. And then again, you can drop the elbows down, maybe drag the hands back slightly to lift the chest. Moving the chest forward. Keep breathing. Breath is easy. Nice, walk the hands back. And we're gonna come into a table pose. So you can just roll forward into table pose or do whatever you need to do to get into table pose. Hands on the knees, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, and just start to make some hip circles here. Look, you're my first class of the morning, my first of 5 classes today, so I'm just honing my language skills. So I appreciate your patience and your levity with this. So again, just making these hip circles. And moving in both directions, just waking up the spine. Nice. We're going to take what's called a rolling cat-cow here. So find a neutral spine. We push through the floor, round through the upper back. Walk your hands out just a little more out in front of you. And then you slowly on your exhale start to sink back into child's pose. And that's your exhale. Then as you inhale, tuck the chin, roll forward, drop the hips, lift the heart. I tend to open my feet out a little bit wider. It feels good in my back. You can try that, but you don't necessarily have to do it. Push through your hands, round through your upper back, sink back, child's pose on your exhale. Inhale, nice slow rolling all the way forward into cobra. or modified up dog, whichever you prefer. Exhale and round back. Nice and slow here, you guys. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale back. One more roll forward. Nice, now pause here. Notice if you're collapsing down into those shoulders, keep rooting through the hands, strong in the arms. If it's available and you want to bend the knees, you could always take the toes to reach up towards the ceiling. It just starts to open the front of the body a little bit more. Couple of breaths. And then take the feet down. If you've lifted them, sink back, wide knee child's pose, and just rock your hips a little from side to side. Maybe come back to that home base. Where do you notice the breath the most? And it may change throughout the practice. Nice, now let's walk our hands over to the right side of the mat. Stretching out that left side body. And breathe into those left ribs. And is your jaw getting really tense here? So relax the jaw. And then let's walk back through center and over to the left side. Breathing into the right ribs, the right side body. Nice, guys, let's gently come back through center. Come forward into your table pose. Let's find down dog. And if down dog is a challenge for you, you can always just stay in table pose. So there's lots of modifications you can have. Since I don't know everybody who's out there and what your practice is like, I'll make sure to offer you modifications throughout this practice. Do what you need, not what you want, right? Our ego wants us to do everything, but listen to what your body might need today. So keep firming the thighs here and pressing through the heels, even if the heels don't go down. And then can you press into your palms and start to soften your chest towards your thighs? Nice. And then lift your toes up. Now your toes are in the front, your heels are in your back. Yeah, I know everybody always lifts their heels up for that. Somebody out there's going, how did she know? It's because everybody does it. Toes lift, we get a little deeper into our calves, still in our down dog. And if you notice, as the toes lift, your thighs firm, and if you can keep the thighs firm here, just release your toes down, but keep the action in the legs. And then let's take a walk to the top of the mat. So hop, jump, walk, crawl, whatever you need to do to get there. Once you get there, let's take a full forward fold. And once you're in this fold, if your palms can touch the earth, that's great. You don't get bonus points for it, but that's cool. You can also hold behind your ankles, behind your calves, or you can even just clasp your hands behind your elbows or behind your knees. There's my typical joint dyslexia that I get, but we're just gonna fold here, keeping the legs firm. Once you get here, lift those toes up again. You'll start to feel the legs fire, and then drop the toes down nice and easy. We're just trying to keep our legs strong here as we take this forward fold. Soften the belly, head hangs. Then press into your feet and slowly rise all the way up to standing. Arms come up and over, and then hands come to the heart. All right, a couple sun salutations. It's a beautiful day for sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift the heart, legs are firm. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half, hands on the shins or the knees or the floor. Look forward, reach that heart forward. Exhale, hollow out the belly and fold deep. Press into your feet, inhale and rise all the way up. Hands to the heart. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, let's fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, rise up. Hands to the heart. Inhale, lift. Nice, you guys. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, rise all the way up to standing. Nice. Once you're up to standing with the arms up and over, left hand grabs this right wrist and we'll take a little side bend. Hey, I love seeing dogs and cats. It's cool. I decided not to fight my cat this morning, so she's just hanging out in here taking a nap. As soon as I draw attention to her, hopefully she'll leave. All right, come on up. Now let's take it to the other side. Nice little side bend. Keep breathing. Cool. Let's come back up to center. Exhale, full forward fold. All right. From here, you're going to bend at your ankles, bend at your knees, sit back into an imaginary chair, Utkatasana. So here's the work in Utkatasana. It's really easy to kind of reach that chest forward and collapse in the low back. What I want you to think about is taking your belly button towards your spine, pubic bone towards your belly button. You get a little rounding in the low back, a little more core work. Press through your feet, come to standing. Then inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, half. Exhale, you can step back and take a vinyasa, and if you're not sure what that is, just go to down dog. Right, so there's lots of options. We're all gonna meet up in down dog eventually, so you decide what you need to do. And once in down dog, come back to that home base. Where's the breath? With your next available inhale, take your right foot forward to warrior one. That means your back heel is down, so you may have to hop it in. Root through your feet to rise all the way up. Your arms come up and over. Maybe you press the palms together. Keep lifting the chest. And then start to take your heart forward, guys. We're gonna pivot around and just take a wide leg forward fold. Yep, so you may have to pick up your feet if you're on a softer surface, and that's okay. But just make sure that your feet are parallel to each other. And I like to let my hands rest down on the earth, and if they don't touch, you can grab some books or some blocks. And then you're gonna inhale, come onto your fingertips, lift your heart. Exhale, empty all the air out of your belly as you fold deep. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, lift the heart. Empty the belly. And lift up one more time. We're gonna walk to the back of the mat, set up for warrior one here. Now this is tricky for some people because that back foot kind of floats behind the front. So you might have to widen your stance here by walking your left foot out to the outer edge. Press down to rise up. Lift up into warrior one. And you guys know too, if you ever have any questions about what we're doing, you can always message me either on Facebook or have Mandy or Josh send me an email. I'm happy to walk you through this. Then take your heart forward. Frame the foot. Let's hop that back foot in. Utkatasana, sit back in that imaginary chair. Then come to standing with your hands at your heart. Next inhale, come into Utkatasana. Went off camera, sorry guys. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, half. And exhale, step back to plank, take a vinyasa. Again, you can just go to down dog. I'm gonna adjust my camera just a little bit for you guys. Couple of breaths in down dog. We're all going for a ride. There we go. From down dog, step your right foot forward to warrior one. And rise up. Now hopefully you can see all of me. And then start to take your heart forward. Let's pivot around again. Wide leg forward fold. Again, hands are rooted either on the floor, blocks. You could be on your fingertips. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift. Empty the belly. One more time, lift. Let it all go as you fold. Lift the heart one more time. Let's pivot to the top. Set up warrior one. Look at your feet before you rise up. Make sure they're where they need to be, and then reach the arms up. Nice. Then let's reach the heart forward. We're going to frame this foot. Back foot hops in, Utkatasana. Press through your feet to come to standing. And then inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, optional vinyasa, or you can go to down dog. Keep breathing. Couple of breaths in down dog. Coming back to that home base of the breath. Next available inhale, right foot forward, warrior one, same flow. We're gonna do 2 mandalas. A mandala is a circle around the mat. It's actually a circle around life. Keep lifting. And then take the heart forward. Let's pivot around. Wide leg forward fold. Remember, you can always pick up your feet for these transitions. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, exhale like no one can hear you. Just breathe it all out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Then let's pivot to the back. Set up for your warrior one. Heart forward. Frame the foot. Step forward, Utkatasana. Come to standing. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. All right, inhale. Exhale, back to plank. Take a vinyasa, or you can go right to down dog. Keep breathing. It's our last round on this. Next inhale, right foot forward, back heel down. Slowly rise up. Heart forward. Pivot around. Wide leg forward fold. Fill the belly. Empty the belly. Fill the belly. And let it go. One more time, lift. And let it go. Let's pivot around. Warrior one. Heart forward. Frame the foot. Utkatasana. The almost last time today you'll hear me say Utkatasana. Come to standing. Last time, Utkatasana, I promise. Exhale and fold here, guys. Take your feet a little wider, clasp your elbows, and just hang here. Maybe bend your knees and sway a little from side to side. Just releasing that low back. And then bend your knees, nice slow roll all the way up to standing. Step your feet closer together. Hands on your hips. Firm this left thigh and bring your right knee up into a balance. I know balance is tough. You got tons of props around you. Don't be afraid to use them. dogs, cats, children, stools, whatever you need. But if you bring this right knee up so high that you fall back into your low back, we're losing the point of the balance. So the knee doesn't have to be up super high. What I want you to think about is that the shoulders are over the hips, crown of the head in line with the tailbone. And if you can be there, then extend your arms overhead and maybe clasp the elbows, lifting the chest. Think of that cobra pose. Left leg stays firm. Breath is easy. In theory, I know. Couple more breaths. Let's release that right leg down. Take a full forward fold. Paddle out the feet. And then slowly roll up to standing. Nice, you guys. Firm this right leg. Hands on the hip. Let's bring the left knee into a balance. Chest lifts. Extend the arms overhead. Clasp the elbows. So if you just got that knee lifted, you're balancing. Everything else is icing on the cake, so don't worry about it. Just be where you can be with this. Just keep breathing. Couple more breaths. You could smile too, right? It's a beautiful day. We're all in our PJs. Oh, we almost lost somebody. Oh, you fixed it. You got it back up. Good job. All right, let's take that leg down. Full forward fold. That's a good recovery. Hey, look, yoga is about catching your fall, right? Sensing the change in your body and going, yep, I better do something about this. That is the practice. Nice, you guys. Let's inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. We're going to step back to down dog. Then we're going to come down onto our knees. Nice. From here, take some hip circles again. So I am serious about that falling. When I used to run trails, you know, part of it was trying to avoid falling. And the yoga really helps with that. Because if you tune in enough to your breath and your awareness, then you kind of start to feel when your body is on unstable ground. And it helps keep you from falling. Or if you do fall, it helps you be aware that you're falling and you can catch yourself a little bit better. Nice, you guys. All right, from here, you're going to reach your right leg back behind you, be right up on the ball of the foot, reach your chest forward. Think of cobra in the chest. Nice, and then we're going to extend our left arm forward like we're trying to shake someone's hand. And then press that right leg up, just so that the right leg is in line with the bump. So you start to feel that glute fire. Keep breathing. Nice, you guys. This is balance. Then bring your left hand down, bend your right knee, bring the heel to the bum. And then as you exhale, I want you to bring your knee towards your belly button and round through the spine like your cat pose. Keeping the knee bent, you're going to press that right thigh back up in line with the bum, lift the chest. Exhale and round. Bringing that knee in, pushing the floor away. Inhale, strong in the belly though, guys. Try not to collapse in the back. One more time, bring that knee in. One more time, press it back. And if you want, take the left hand, that's the opposite hand. Maybe you can reach back and reach towards that heel. Maybe, right? It's okay if you can't. Keep lifting the chest. Then without slingshotting that right foot, just let it go gently. Bring the knee back under, bring the left hand back under. Couple of cat cows, couple of hip circles. Just whatever you need for the spine. Nice. All right, reach your left leg back. Firm the left thigh. Press that leg up. So the heel's in line with the bum. If it's too high, you start to collapse down, right? So we don't want to do that. We just want it high enough that you feel the glute engage. Belly button towards the spine, then reach the right arm forward. So this action in the belly is very similar to the action in Utkatasana. We're slowly drawing the pubic bone towards the belly button to keep the low back strong and engaged. We're not just hanging out in it. This is a great place to find your breath again. And then bring the right hand down, bend the left knee, and as you exhale, bring that knee in towards the chest. Then press it back. Bring it in and round, and press it back. And one more time, bring it in, and press it back. Maybe take this right arm around, catch the heel. Maybe you catch the pant leg. Maybe you just reach in that general direction. It all counts, by the way. I know I always say this, but you could just show up and breathe with us today and it counts. I don't know what your watch will tell you about it, but it counts, I promise. All right, release. Come back down. Couple of hip circles. And then sink back into child's pose just for a couple of breaths. Nice, let's come forward into our table pose. Let's go ahead and step our right foot forward to the outside of our right hand. So you can just kind of step it through. So we're in this low lizard pose. So the back knee is down. Hey, if this bothers your back knee, take a moment, roll up the back of your mat, grab a towel, whatever you might need for it. But both my hands are on the inside of my right foot. Then I'm gonna reach my right arm forward like I'm trying to catch something. I just can't quite get to it, right? Then I'm gonna reach this right arm all the way up and back behind me. It turns into a little bit of a twist. Try to keep the big toe mound rooted, keep the right knee coming towards the center line, and then exhale, come all the way back down. Reach out in front of you. Inhale, bring it all the way up and back. Exhale, bring it down. Nice. One more time, guys. Bring it all the way up and back. And take the back of your hand maybe to your tailbone or to your hip. Gaze over the left shoulder, or right shoulder, sorry. And just keep breathing. Nice. Now we're going to come forward, frame this foot, push the floor away, and straighten this leg. So the right leg is straight, the heart reaches forward. And the breath is easy. Same thing here, guys, a long back. So not this rounding. It's not about getting the nose to the knee. It's about taking your heart and moving it forward. And then let's bring that right shin forward. Step the right foot back. Nice and easy, just bring the left foot forward. And it comes to the outside of the left hand. This gives you a little more time to make adjustments with the knees and everything. So I put a little more weight into my right hand, and then I start to reach forward like there's just something, I just can't quite get it. And then bring that left arm up and back behind you. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, take it down. One more time up and back. And one more time down. And then this time, let's find the bind as you reach up and back. Maybe take the back of that left hand to the tailbone, to the outer right hip. Gaze over that left shoulder. Again, notice if you're rolling to the outer edge of this right foot or left foot, you want to push down through the left big toe mound. You're pulling this left leg into the center line. Keep breathing. Nice, let's release, frame the foot, straighten the leg. Heart is forward. And again, come back to the sensation of your breath. Couple more breaths. Let's take that shin forward. Step back, child's pose, guys. Stack your hands on top of each other. Rest your forehead down on your hands. Couple of breaths here. Then we're gonna curl our toes under. We're gonna sit back on our heels. If you're one of my regulars, I know this is everybody's favorite. It is not. This is called Vajrasana. So the toes are curled under, and if you can, you sit back on your heels. If your feet are like, ah, right, then you lean a little bit more forward, taking the weight somewhat out of your feet. But the goal here is to one day maybe be able to sit back. Now, if you've got stuff going on in your toes, like arthritis or injuries, this is a little more challenging. But what we're trying to do is open up the bottoms of our feet. So we're trying to widen the foundation of our entire body. You can tuck the chin and maybe collapse back a little bit more. And if this is just absolutely not your bag, you can just kind of lean forward here. And I get it. Couple more breaths. And then let's go ahead and come forward. Point your toes back. Bring your heels together. Let's sit back onto our heels. This is a little easier for some people. And if none of this is easy, you can always sit in Baddha Konasana. So you can bring your feet around in front of you and bring the soles of your feet together. You'll still get the quad stretch that you need. Then let's bring our hands to our heart. Interlace the hands, press the palms forward while you sink back, rounding through the spine. And then inhale, get nice and tall. Get right up on your heels with your sit bones. Draw the arms up and back. Draw them back behind your shoulders. Think cobra in the chest. Breath is easy. Then let's take this right hand over to the left, moving into a twist. Then let's gently come back up to center. Interlace the hands, press the palms towards the ceiling. Arms draw back, chest lifts. You got this. And left hand over to the right knee. Keep breathing. Back to center. And let's come out of it. Yay! And maybe throw a little tantrum. So I just tap the tops of my feet on the mat just to wake them back up if they feel a little tingly, right? You may want to reach back through one leg and then the other. I like to roll through the ball of my foot here and just do some ankle circles. And then back to center and reach the other leg back if you haven't already. Nice. And then bring that left knee down underneath you. Walk your hands back towards your knees, curl your toes under, and then as you lift the knees up, slowly roll up to a full forward fold. And ideally what you might feel is that the bottom of your feet spread just a little bit more. Then press into your feet, inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Hands come to the heart. All right, guys, so we're gonna do a standing back bend. Don't let that freak you out if you've never done a back bend. But what I do ask is that you watch me do a demo of this first, okay? Because it's step by step and I want everybody to stay safe. I love this as a heart opener, but definitely watch first. Don't try to do it with me. So I'm standing with my feet hip distance apart and I'm taking my hands to the back side of my hips so that I can press my bum down when it's time. And we all have a bum to press down, so that's good. Right, so I'm gonna bend my knees so that my knees track over my second and third toe. Right, then I'm gonna press my hips forward. Then I'm gonna take my chest towards my chin. Now I'm not all the way there yet, there's steps in this. I'm gonna bend my knees a little bit more if it's available. I'm gonna press my hips forward, chest towards the chin. Then I'm gonna bend my knees a tiny bit more, hips press forward, chest lifts, Once I get into this last one, I'm pressing the flesh of my bum down to lift my chest even more. Hey guys, what I'm not doing is dropping my head way back. Do you hear what happens to my voice, right? We don't want that. So what I want you to do is draw your chin back like you're giving yourself a double chin. Keep lifting the chest. I am using my hands on my bum as a brace, and then to come out, we just straighten our legs. Okay, so it's it is actually pretty easy. The hardest part I find for people is the mechanics of the hips going forward. For some reason, when we bend our knees, we want to push our butt back, right? It just happens because of all these utkatasana. But we're going to try it this way. So feet are hip distance apart, right? Take your hands, find that fleshy part of your bum. They're just going to use it as a shelf. And then bend your knees just a little so that it tracks over your second and third toe. Then start to push your hips forward. Then take your chest just up slightly towards your chin, right? And then bend your knees a little bit more. Press your hips towards the sound of my voice. Take your chest a little bit more towards your chin. Bend your knees a little bit more. Hips press forward. Press the flesh of your bum down. Shoulder blades draw together. Chest lifts. Draw the chin back. Think of lifting the low ribs right up off the belly. Then to come up very slowly, straighten the legs. Come all the way up. Pedal it out. See, you did it. Wasn't so scary. You say back bend, and I think people freak out. And I like to teach really safe back bends. All right, so we're going to do it one more time because you did such a good job on that. So hands find your bum. Knees find the second and third toe. And look down at it, right? That's how you develop intuition. You have to figure out the experience first. Then press the hips forward. Then lift the chest up just a tiny bit. The ribs lift up off the belly. Bend your knees. Hips forward. Chest lifts. Bend the knees. Hips forward. Press the bum down. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest a little bit more towards the chin. Draw the chin back. Maybe gaze towards heaven. Keep breathing. Keep lifting the chest. And then straighten the legs. Come all the way up. Nice, you guys. You will feel a little compression, a little crunchiness in the low back. That's okay. Take your feet a little bit wider. Bend your knees. And just round over your thighs. And so I clasp my hands kind of behind my knees and let my head hang. You can just let your arms hang if you want. I just like the stability of that a little bit more. And just hang here. The belly rests on the thighs. Reconnect with our breath. Couple more breaths here. Then release your hands all the way down and just take your bum down. Let's just come all the way down. And then slowly lower down onto your back. Ooh, it must mean we're getting close to Shavasana. All right, so feet are still hip distance apart. I just want you to slowly windshield wiper your knees. Again, you may feel some compression in your low back from that back bend. Compression is when we cut the blood flow off for just a little bit to let new fresh blood flow into that area. And if you've been sitting a lot, that should feel pretty good in a little while, right? Once the compression wears off. So this rocking the knees from side to side is definitely helpful. Nice, you guys. Then bring your knees back up to center. Let's take this right leg and cross it over the left. Right, so a very polite, like you're sitting very politely. Then you're going to shift your left hip towards the center of the mat so that you can take both knees over to the left into a twist. Now, if you feel this in your knees, if this is too much pressure in your knees, uncross the legs and just have the knees bent as you move into this twist. Right, there's lots of options for this. Gaze over the right shoulder. Breath is easy. Nice, you guys, let's slowly bring the knees back up to center. Uncross. And let's take that left leg on top of the right. And again, shift that right hip. Just pick up the bum and shift the right hip towards the center of the mat. You might find you get a little more space as we take these knees over to the right. You might have to pick up that right shoulder and let it slide out from underneath you. And that's okay. Whatever you got to do to be comfortable or somewhat comfortable in this position, maybe gaze over the left shoulder. Breath is easy. Couple more breaths. And then let's unwind, come back up to center. Draw your knees into your chest, round through the spine. Release your head down, reach the heels towards the ceiling. So I know this isn't easy for everybody to have your heels in line with your hips. So if your legs are a little further away, you can always hold on to them here, right? Or you can bring the legs right over the hips. But reach up through those heels. You can open the arms out to the side if it feels good. Just a couple of breaths here. I had this discussion with one of my students because this is very easy for me, and what we deduced is because my thoracic spine is completely flat. So with a completely flat upper back, it's super easy to do this, right? I'm not having to engage my core as much. So I recognize we all have our shortcuts for poses like this. Now take your legs wide and then bend at the knees and just hold behind the knees and take happy baby, or you can hold the outer edges of your feet, whatever is comfortable for you. And let's just rock very slowly from one edge of your back to the other, from right to left, just as if you were cradling a child or a pet and trying to get them to go to sleep. Because that is about where we are going to go as we settle down into Shavasana here. Nice. So let's gently bring our knees together, heels towards the bum. Let's round through the spine one more time. Take a big breath in. Take one more big breath in. Hold this breath. Let the body get super tense. Curl up into a ball. Tense the fingers, the toes, the face, everything. And as you exhale, release all that tension down into Shavasana. And maybe with this Shavasana for your low back, you could take your legs out a little bit wider. You could bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet together. Hey, if you want to throw your legs up, not throw, but if you want to take your legs up the wall, you could do that. Or you could get a stool, a couch, and just bend your knees and let them hang over the edge. So allow this Shavasana to support what it is you need. And once you get settled in, I want you to come back and rest your awareness on the home base, that place where you notice the breath the most. And just noticing the rise and fall within that space of the muscles, the sensations of the breath. Now start to draw your next inhale deep into your belly. And exhale slowly out the mouth. Again, draw the next breath deep into the belly. Exhale, let it all go. One more time, and as you inhale, if it's available, reach the arms back behind you. Just stretch it out here a little bit. If your knees are bent and you can straighten them, you can do that as well. Just stretching it out, giving yourself one more big stretch here. And as you exhale, bend your knees, plant your feet on this beautiful earth, release the arms to your side, and gently roll to whatever side best supports you. And just pause there like you're just waking up for the first time. And through the strength of your arms, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, hands at our heart center. Nice. Let's honor this time we get to spend together with one more breath. Take a big breath in. Exhale like it's Friday. Thank you all for sharing your wonderful gift of yoga and for showing up each week and for letting me teach you. May you have peace in your body, peace with your words, peace in your mind. Namaste. Yay.